we're all kind of one consciousness, that concept, and that with like this whole slime thing is a kind of a way of identifying one another with that understanding, right? Like it's something that bridges between different aspects of culture. Like, so you could have slime in punk rock, you can have slime in hip hop, you can have slime in metal, you can have slime in electronic, and all these different like genres and cultures, this aesthetic and this understanding of this thing, when you equate it to consciousness as a representation of like formlessness and fluidity and non-Newtonian form, then you're entering territory that is conceptual, and that helps like identify one another, that we're all on this similar wavelength, and we might be different branches, but and different leaves or whatever we are, but we're the same, from the same root in some way, and that slime is something connecting us, and that's what Sound of Slime is. That's what all the slime that I'm doing is about. It's just to me, slime represents something that is going to bring us together as what when ooh, when normally a lot of division has existed amongst different forms of music and different subcultures. What I hope to do with slime is break down those boundaries for people, so they don't feel like they have to be bound to like just being a punk rock guy, who you got to be hung up on only liking punk because you're scared to say that you actually like electronic music or something, like, or hip hop. And that slime is this thing where it's like, like someone, it's like, dude, this is cool and this is cool. And it's all like, it's all cool. It all has this feature, right? So it's all in this similar, there's a similar vein, and so you shouldn't be afraid to like cross pollinate and enjoy all of it. If you see the slime is there, then it's welcoming you, it's inviting you, it's saying you're welcome in this, you're part of this, whether you're punk rock or hip hop or raver, whatever culture you are, hippie or whatever. If you see the slime, you identify with it, you're part of it, then we're all on that same slime wavelength, and we understand. And it's the irony of people can use slime like in a negative connotation, but just the same as we can flip it in a totally positive thing. Slime is a neutral thing that can be made positive or negative, however you view it, in kind of a quantum sense of it's the observer making it what it is in some way. So, also it's like through this movement, we turning slime into our own thing that empowers us. We take control of it and are architects of the storyline, and so you can call us a slime ball, and hell, we just love it that much more, So, um, and we can be the ones to really truly show the negative and the positive. And so slime isn't something that should be thought of as like it's just this nasty, gross, negative thing, or um, it's like it actually, it's positive thing. It can be a very, very, very positive thing, because the idea is that it frees you up. It's a concept. It's like it's a philosophy around form, and so like it's like a Platonic philosophy regarding the Platonic forms. Throw slime into the equation, and you have something that doesn't exist within these forms necessarily. It shifts. It's the thing that goes between all forms is slime. And so it's a very philosophical concept. And I would entertain and encourage more people to uh, entertain this idea of conceptualizing slime in philosophical sense. And I've explained it to people that this is like, you have George Clinton, and he took the word funk and he made it something beyond what it was. Like, he took it and added a whole new spin on what the word funk meant. And funk is the same kind of word. It's like you make it either good or bad depending on how you use it. And he he made it like so powerful. He empowered himself with empowering the word and empowering his brothers and sisters to use the word to empower themselves, and they all just got functified, right? And that has had an influence on our culture. And um so I equate the whole slime thing, if it's hard to conceptualize, like it's like funk is to, George Clinton and P Funk and Funkadelic, slime is to like everything happening right now. I'm not trying to say anything or anyone is like doing slime. It's not me, right? This is more of a collective conscious thing that I've witnessed. If you take a step back and you look at everything from design, brand, logos, merchandising, videos, live performances, posters, visuals, and all these things, the element of slime that has been displayed over this decade has been truly, I think, astronomical and phenomenal. It's something that when it was 2020, I predicted we were going to be moving into this. And it's already had momentum going back in the past. There were people kind of pushing this sort of idea with slime and music. And um, I think there's I think a lot of people, when presented with this concept, would embrace it, because I think that's where we're at right now, where with music and music culture, you can't know. It's really hard to say, that you're so just one thing. I mean, sure there are, but like even those people who are so, determined to be punk rock, and that's the thing. I mean, everybody's kind of got their like, snobs, if you want to call them, to some degree. Uh, people get very articulated towards one thing, but they still will like maybe something else. And and basically it's also not hate on other things. Like, there's a relationship here, you hating on that isn't good. There's no point to it. I can understand hate on like mainstream and stuff, but see this, like, you might see slime in the mainstream, but they don't get it like I'm describing it. They're not doing that like necessarily. It hasn't hit that level of like being a thing about consciousness. It's just been like in a superficial sense within mainstream hip hop. It's about money. It's about sex, and uh, and then like when you get into the underground of hip hop, it's about being friends. It's about like slime is your closest friends, and homies are your slime. And but like the mainstream, all it kind of, you see a lot of rappers, and I don't want to really talk shit, but like their form of slime is materialistic, and it's money, it's sex, and it's drugs and those kind of things. Whereas the concept of slime that I'm trying to promote is it's just purely consciousness, like, um, and it has, well, there's a moral compass, I guess, to it. There's a conscious awareness. And so there's a moral, I guess, ethical ground somewhat of slime, that it's, um, I guess, not meant to be anything like that is preying upon people, or that it's not this ego driven thing, right? That it's the psychedelic thing of we're all slime, we all kind of melt together, we're all, there's this one interconnected bowl of soup, slime, that we're all kind of living in, and it's visible or whatever, and but we're connected. And Because if you turn it into material stuff, you create disconnection. I mean, because you're focusing on things that aren't truly legitimate. Like consciousness is legit; it exists. Money is something we've created. We made up and we're using it in our own terms. But consciousness exists and it's living on its own terms. And so um, that's where I see slime. And I hope you can vibe with that. And I've been going off on a rant. And I hope if anyone watched this, they enjoyed it. And again, give me some feedback, vibe with us, and expect some more. I'm going to sign out. Love you guys. Take care. I'll check you on the next one. Get slimed, though. Get slimed. Like, get slimed. Yo. Yo. All right. Peace.